Hi everyone. In today's video, we will know about AWS Certificate Manager. So what is AWS Certificate Manager, why we use, how it works, how to configure this. So let's move to agenda. We will learn what is AWS Certificate Manager and why we use and how it works and what are the types of certificate and what are the use cases of ACM and integration with AWS services. So let's see one by one. AWS Certificate Manager is also known as ACM. It handles the complexity of creating, storing and renewing the public and private SSL and TLS certificates and keys that protect your AWS websites and applications. And also it can provide certificate for your integrated AWS services either by issuing them directly with ACM or by importing the third-party certificate into the ACM management system. So it can provide the certificate through the ACM or otherwise it can import using the third-party certificates. The next is ACM eliminates the need for complex manual tasks such as generating a certificate signing request and submitting it to a certificate authority and manually uploading and rotating the certificates. The next is why we use Certificate Manager. It's an essential service for organizations that prioritize the security and want to streamline the management of SSL and TLS certificates. So the main reasons are it's a simplified SSL TLS enablement and efficient management of multiple domain names and automated certificate management, centralized certificate management. So let's see one by one. Simplified SSL TLS enablement. ACM simplifies the process of activating the SSL TLS for websites or applications that are hosted on the AWS infrastructure. So it can be activating through websites or applications, and it's a manual task related to SSL or TLS certificate management are eliminated. In this simplified, the manual tasks are eliminated. We can automatically be related to the certificate, and which leads to the reduction of complexity and save time for developers and administrators. So it's easy to use and its complexity reduces and it saves lot of time for developers and administrators. The next is efficient management or multiple domain names. ACM simplifies the management of multiple domain names by allowing you to include additional fully qualified domain names. So it's also known as FQDNS, fully qualified domain names, in a single certificate, or in other words, you can get the multiple domain benefits by signing up to AWS Certificate Manager. With ACM, you are no longer faced with the dilemma of choosing between acquiring the wildcard SSL or cheap multiple domain certificate, as ACM offers a efficient and cost-effective solutions for securing all your domains under one umbrella. In this, it provides multiple domains or a single domain names. It can also provide the cost-effective solutions for securing all your domains. The next is Automated Certificate Manager. ACM takes care of certificate renewals, which helps to prevent downtime due to improperly configured, revoked or expired the certificates. ACM's automations of this process guarantee that certificates are always current and meet the required security standards, thereby improving the trustworthiness and security of the applications. The next is Centralized Certificate Management. The centralized certificate management with ACM, all SSL or TLS certificates in an AWS region can be centrally managed via the AWS Management Console, CLI or command line interface or APIs. The centralized approach makes it easier to manage the certificate, and also it provides better visibility and standardized security practices throughout your AWS infrastructure. And also ACM ensures protection of certificates private key with strong encryptions and key management and best practices that promote the security and compliance. So these are all the reason we are using the ACM, means AWS Certificate Manager. The next, how ACM works. Um, First we will know the definition, then we will go through this diagram. AWS Certificate Manager is a service that automates the management of SSL and TLS certificate for AWS services and internal resources. It works to first its certificate creation, then deployment and renewal and management and integration. So let's know one by one. Certificate creations. ACM can issue certificates directly or import the certificate from third parties. The next is certificate deployment. ACM can deploy certificate on AWS resources like Amazon CloudFront, Elastic Load Balancers, and API gateways. And a certificate renewal. ACM can automatically renew the certificates or send email notifications when they are about to expire. So when the time is over, it can send the notification your certificate is expired. You can renew the certificate. And the next is certificate management. ACM can manage the certificate life cycle centrally. The certificate integrations. ACM integrates with other AWS services such as Elastic Load Balancing and Amazon CloudFront. Then go to the next. Yeah. So how AWS Certificate Manager works, we will see. So first we go to the AWS console, then we need to create the VPC. So within the VPC, the other consoles are created. So within VPC, the subnets are created. After creating the subnets, we need to create the internet gateways. So and then it's attached the internet gateway to the VPCs. Then it creates the route tables. The route tables also associated with the subnets and VPC. The next is the load balancer. Load balancer also created within the VPC. Then it needs to create the EC2 instances. So this all are attached to the VPC only. After creating the load balance, so before creating load balance, we need to create the target groups. Then we need to create load balance. So after creating load balance, users send a URL to through the route 53 table. So when is route 53 is created, it connected to the load balancer, then it send the URL to the EC2 instances. So after getting the URL in the route 53, the AWS Certificate Manager is send a request to the route 53 to create to send a request to create the certificate. So this is how AWS Certificate Manager can work. So within the VPC, all the consoles are created like internet gateways, subnets, load balancer, EC2 instance, route tables. Yes, then outside the VPC, the Route 53 and AWS Certificate Manager can create it when the user send a URL through Route 53. So uh, this is how it configure the AWS Certificate Manager. The next is type of certificate in ACM. AWS Certificate Manager offers two primary types of certificates, each tailored for specific use cases. The one is public certificates, the another is private certificates. Let's see what are the difference between public and private certificate. We need to comparison between both. So comparison the public and private certificate. The public certificate, it services the common public. So it's related to public means everyone can easily access this certificate. And the private certificate, it's a self-hosted certificate, authorities for only internal usage. So it can, in the private certificate cannot be used outside, but in public certificate we can use anywhere. Next, the type of companies that have earned the faith of the public at large. So it's in large, and the functions within the organizations and trusted by user inside the organizations only. So in the private certificate trusted only inside the organizations, and the functions also organized within organization members only. the usage. The public can be default common deployment. In the private, we use the specific deployment. Compared to the cost, public is higher and private is cheaper. The nature of communication, the public communication is transparent, everyone can easily access this, and the private is a secured communication, so only organization users can communicate. And the security purpose, public is less secured and the private is more secured, because private cannot be authorized by everyone. The next, for example, in the public certificate, implementing the SSL and encrypt the emails and signing the digital documents. But in private certificate, it's a intranet, so one to one can access this. So using the signing digital documents can easily theft the someone, and it can be accessed easily by everyone. So these are the difference between public and private certificates. The next is ACM use cases. AWS Certificate Manager can several use cases. It includes the securing websites and applications, protecting internal resources, improving uptime and securing the multiple domain names, creating wildcard SSL certifications, and exporting the certificates. So let's see one by one. Securing website and applications. ACM can be used to provision and manage the certificate to secure website and applications. So it's help to secure the websites. And protecting internal resources. It can be used to secure communication between the resources on private networks such as servers, network, mobile devices, and IoT devices, and provide the security communications. It's a private. Improving uptime. ACM can be used to automatically manage the SSL TLS certificates, it including the renewals also. Securing multiple domain names. ACM can be used to secure multiple domain names and subdomains. And creating wildcard SSL certificates. ACM can be used to create wildcard SSL certificates to protect an entire domain and its subdomains. The next is exporting the certificate. ACM certificate can be exported for use anywhere in the internal private keys. And also ACM can be integrated with other AWS services such as Elastic Cloud Balancing, Amazon CloudFront, and Amazon API gateways, and public and private SSL TLS certificate provided to the ACM and can use it accessibly within the services are free. The next is integration with AWS services. AWS Certificate Manager is seamlessly integrated with a variety of core AWS services, it enabling the automatic deployment of SSL TLS certificates to secure your applications and resources. And it is Elastic Load Balancer or Amazon CloudFront, Amazon API Gateway, AWS Elastic Benchstock, and also uh, say public and private SSL TLS certificate provide to the integration of the services. So let's see how to create the Amazon Certificate Manager. So let's go to AWS console. For this we need to create VPC, EC2 instances, subnets, route tables, we all know that. So let's go to the Certificate Manager. So in this Certificate Manager we need to request a certificate. So first we go to certificates. Here in these certificates there is a option, so list certificates, request certificates, import, and AWS have already told that we can request the certificate or import the certificate by using the third party. So first in this certificate we send the request. So you can see certificate type can be public certificate or request a private certificate. I have already told that there are two types of certificate, one is public and another one is private. So I am choosing the public certificate. You can want the private, you can choose the private. So click on next. In this, provide one or more domain name for your certificate. So you can provide the particular domain which one you have. So here I have no uh, domain name, so that's why I'm carrying s.com. So in this you can give the particular domain name. Say later that you need to give the validation method. So there is a two validation. One is DNS validation, is domain name system. So if you are authorized to modify the DNS configuration for the domains in your certificate request, you can choose the DNS. Otherwise you can choose the email validation. If you do not have permission or cannot obtain the permission to modify the domain name system, you can choose this email, which one you have give the email to create the domains. So when you choose the email validation, you can get the certificate request or any other questions through this email. Then we can choose the key algorithm. There is no need to any tag associated with this resources. Then you need to send the request. So I am not sending request because I have no particular domains. So that's why I'm showing you how to create this certificate manager. So when you send the request, so once you send the request, you can get the notification. So what's next? So how it works. So this is all about the AWS Certificate Manager, how it works and configurations like that. This is all about the AWS Certificate Manager. Thank you.